Hi, welcome to this second look at the Christmas 2022 weather prospects. Now, I know there's a lot of interest at the moment in the possibility of a cold period through the first half of the month, but for this video, I'm going to ignore that and simply focus on the 25th. So, there are still 23 sleeps until the big day itself. And if Harold Wilson had been interested in the weather rather than politics, perhaps he would have said something like this: a week in the UK can be an eternity in the world of weather. Therefore, 23 days means things are very, very speculative indeed. So really, this is just for fun at the moment and taking a look at some of the longer range data which is available, but there's still a lot of time for change to happen. The definition of a white Christmas, I've mentioned this several times before, and I do fully understand that lots of people don't like it, but it is the official one, defined by the Met Office, which is for one flake of snow to be observed falling within the 24 hours of December the 25th. It doesn't say anything at all about accumulations. Therefore, the world could be completely green through December the 25th, but if one or two flakes of snow are recorded falling, it's defined as a white Christmas. Very much different to that though, a classic white Christmas for me, my favourite, December 25th, 1995. I was staying with my parents in North Yorkshire, just near Filey, somewhere around there, and we had very cold air moving down from the north, a small area of low pressure tracked down the North Sea, and where I was staying, it started snowing, I think about midday, Christmas Day, and it kept going well into Boxing Day. And by that point, the level of snow must have been about 40 centimetres or so deep, and the drifts were well over the hedges. Roads were absolutely treacherous. The best white Christmas I've seen in the UK, personally, a lot better than the one in December 2010, which was extremely cold. And there have been several others. I think 1981 was a very famous one. I'm never quite sure whether it was snow on the ground in York in 1978-79, that very cold winter. But certainly for me, this was the best I've seen in the UK. Well, on to the present time and a quick overview of the Weather Analog Index. This is run every day and it compares the pressure patterns across the Northern Hemisphere during the last X number of days with those in previous years to try and locate the best matches. The current top 10, it's quite a mixed bunch. 2014 there in at number 1. One I'm going to draw attention to though, because of what followed, is 1970. It's just making it into the top 10 there. Here's the Christmas Day chart showing air mass temperatures in 1970, and a classic white Christmas was recorded in large parts of the UK. You can see high pressure just here to the northwest and a bitterly cold easterly flow moving across the country. I believe even parts of the south recorded snow falling and a good covering on the big day. I don't remember it. I think I was about 10 months old at the time. It's a shame though, because this was one of the classics, I believe. Looking at some of the longer range computer model data, let's see how things are shaping up. Here's the GEFS 35-day plot for London. Last week, it was showing above average temperatures at this level, about 1,500 meters over our heads during the Christmas period. But since then, interestingly, the trend is towards colder than average conditions, which are expected through the first half of the month to possibly continue into the Christmas period itself, well worth keeping an eye on. Here are the 2-meter temperatures for the same period. So these are the ones we can expect down at ground level. We can see this very cold period which has been forecast through the first half of the month. Then temperatures recover, but there are signs there of them being a little bit below the norm, as I say, even as we head towards December the 25th. They are trending downwards. There's growing support for the possible continuation of a cold period of weather into the festive season itself. Here's the air mass temperature chart for Glasgow. Similar, albeit the anomaly there through the Christmas period is actually bigger than on the one for London. A greater chance of it being cold, but following the same trends. And the 2-meter temperature chart for Glasgow, it's actually starting to look like it's quite supportive of cold weather as we head towards the big day. Very interesting, these changes from the updates last week. And the air mass temperature anomaly chart for the week beginning Thursday the 22nd. On these charts, blues indicate below the 30-year norm, reds above it. And there are significant changes here. Last week, reds were covering the UK, now blues, and they're extending over much of Europe. But if we look up to the northwest, the reds are showing up, and that suggests the possibility of a higher than average pressure, which is what this chart shows. Lower pressure to the south, higher pressure up towards Iceland there. That adds more evidence to the possibility, at least, of the cold pattern, the negative North Atlantic Oscillation, high pressure up to the northwest, low pressure down to the southwest, an increased risk of northerlies or easterlies blowing in across Western Europe. That's what's needed for cold weather in this part of the world. Interesting developments there. So, to quickly summarise where things are at, it remains too early to make a forecast, but speculatively, the analogues are mixed. Nonetheless, 1970 has now made it into the top 10, and that really was a crackerjack white Christmas in much of the UK. The medium-range computer models, which go out to the Christmas period, are trending colder than they were last week. The cold period of weather, which is expected to develop through the first half of the month, could, I'll emphasise the word could, be continuing into the Christmas period itself. And of course, if that did happen, the chance of snow would be much increased. So I'm not going to put a percentage chance here, but what I will say is that the prospects of a white Christmas do look to be improving at the moment. Whether or not that will continue to be the case as we go through the next couple of weeks, let's wait and see. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. It really is just for fun at the moment. We've got the possibility of a significant period of wintry weather in the shorter term, and I'll be looking at that in my next 14-day video, which will be published early next week. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. If you found it useful and interesting, then please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons below. Thanks now. Bye.